The research question is what modern economics and game theory have to say about the relationship between human flourishing and competition on markets. I'm pursuing that project by looking at what is happening currently in the economic literature and also in economic experiments, and I'm trying to connect that with the ideas of Adam Smith to see whether what Smith called virtues, whether that is included in current research, and also his ideas about justice and his ideas about benevolence. What do we know from the experiments that we see nowadays? Some examples are about moral behavior, which what Adam Smith would call justice. Justice means that you do not hurt other people. Yes, so some of the experiments they investigate, yes, whether people actually are willing to hurt other people, which is immoral behavior, and under what circumstances you would do less of that. Yeah? So one experiment in particular, which I like very much, is by Armin Falk. He's a German economist, and he has shown, yes, that if you look at yourself in the mirror, yes, then you actually tend to hurt other people less, yes, than when you don't see yourself. So this connects with, I think, ideas of Adam Smith, where there is the impartial observer, yes, who looks at you and who reminds you that you shouldn't be doing certain things. So that's one example of a connection between recent work and an idea of Adam Smith. This is relatively new, I would say. So there have been a lot of experiments that show that people are not like Homo economicus, yeah, so that they're more pro-social, and also that they are less rational than the standard textbook would assume. So they're nicer, but also not so intelligent. But the third dimension is on how whether people are behaving according to norms, yes, and whether they respect norms and whether they behave appropriately or not. And that's the moral dimension of behavior, yes, and there is much less research that has been done on the relation between moral behavior and the context in which this takes place. Some sociologists who have done that to show, for example, that in some environments people behave nicer than in other situations, and then you might think that maybe people that behave less nice in markets than they do in other situations, and that if you have more experience with markets, yes, whether you would tend to behave less nice, yes, but that's something that we don't know. And there is some research related to this, but not very much. And certainly there is not much, as far as I know, that tries to link, yes, the modern research in economics to the ideas of the 18th century economists. So they had a much more elaborate model of human nature. And economists, as of the end of the 19th century, have simplified that model and eliminated some aspects of reality. And what we're doing now is bringing these elements in reality back. So we're actually, from a narrow model of human nature, yes, we're getting to a model that used to be prominent in the 18th century. And what we now know is that these ideas of the people in the 18th century were relatively accurate, let's put it like that. So we have evidence, yes, that their thoughts, at least on the basic elements, were okay.